Hey everybody. I just kind of wanted to make this video letting you guys know what's been going on with me these past couple of days. As you uh as you guys know, I took in a kitten from outside and I I tried to care for her the best way I knew how. I fed her, I got her cleaned up, I got everything she needed. I even gave her powdered baby cat milk. I did everything for her. I made her own little nest where she can lay. I bathed her. I got her cleaned up from this wound she had. I got her the best help I could, and she's gone. I woke up in the morning and she died. She had passed away in her sleep. I tried my best to bring her back, and I couldn't. I wish things were different. I wish things were different, you know? I hate feeling so powerless, you know? Every time my cats have had problems, I wasn't able to fix them because I don't have money to fix them, you know? And I try. I try and spend whatever money I can to get them the help they need, but they want over a grand. Get them help. And I tried. Well, the grand part is for another cat, but I I'll talk about her a bit later. But my the baby kitten, I I loved her, you know? She was important to me. But throughout my whole life, all I ever knew was loss, you know? I lost so much growing up. And these cats, the ones I have, they mean so much to me. They're such a big and important part of my life, and seeing one of them pass, it just hits me hard. It just makes me feel like I didn't do enough for them. It makes me feel like I'm just a fuck up. I'm a fuck up because I should have been there for them in their final moments. I should have done something more. Well, I should have been able to give them the care they needed when they needed it, and I couldn't. And I'll never forgive myself for letting them pass away like that. These cats are everything to me, and I can't bear to see them go, you know. And recently, one of my other cats, she was one of my oldest cats, my second oldest. She had a prolapse, you know. She had this thing coming out of her, and I called it out, and I took her to the vet, and they fucking they told me it'd be fucking 2 grand to get her fixed. Well, they didn't tell me, they told my grandmother because she had her chipped, and she told me that we weren't gonna be able to save her. and they were gonna have her euthanized. And it just sickens me deep down in my soul knowing that I can't save anyone. I can't save the things I care about. I can't save them. And I think it's I, I don't want to say it, but do I just deserve this? Is this karma for everything I have done? All the people I've treated like shit, all the times I've been annoying, pain in the ass, a downer, all the times that I didn't appreciate enough, and now everything that I love just gets taken away from me, and I feel so small. I feel so inhuman. I genuinely feel like shit. And the worst part about it all is that my grandmother and my grandfather, they don't feel the way I do about my cats. They can never feel the same way. And when my kitten died, he wanted me to throw her in the trash can. And that is the most horrible and monstrous thing I've ever heard in my damn life. No animal deserves to be just thrown out like trash. She had so much life to live. She had so much more to give. She gave me the best 4 weeks of my life. She would crawl up on me during videos. She would purr on my shoulder. She would be so loving and affectionate with all the other cats. And even though they didn't like her, she loved them. And that just made me love her all the more. Her, this girl I was talking to about it. She about the kid when I first found her. She named her Sushi. You know, her name was Sushi, and I loved her. I loved Sushi. You know, and the older one, Ash, they just wrote her off, and they told me that they couldn't do anything about it, and that it was gonna be the end of her. And and when my brother took her to go to the vet, I I hope that it wasn't the last time I'd ever see her. I hope I can see her again. But if she doesn't get better, if they can't find some alternative, then she's gone. She's gone. And I just wish I wasn't so poor, you know? I just wish I was in a better situation where I was able to give my cats the care they deserve because they deserve so much more than I could ever give them. And these past couple of days, I haven't been eating anything. Yesterday, I didn't even eat anything. Today I was eating because I starved myself so much from the day before and the previous that I just felt like I was gonna just collapse. And I was at work and we're so understaffed, and I'm doing the best I can. You know, I was doing the job of fucking three people. I was doing it pretty well, and they were, my coworkers were aware of my loss. And while I can take a joke, right? I know how to take a joke, but it wasn't the right place or time. You know, they told me that if someone knew how to do their fucking job, everything would be fine. Because they're referring to me like I was terrible at my job. And, that in itself, it's obviously a joke, right? They don't mean it. And of course, I wouldn't have cared any other day, but I lost something that was important to me, someone that was important to me. I lost a pet that I cared about deeply, and no one cared. They don't care, and of course, why should they care, right? It's not them. It's not their animal. It's not their pet. But it would have meant so much more to me if they had just said my condolences, you know? If they had just showed any ounce of empathy, and they didn't. Instead, they cracked jokes about me. They were comparing me to horrible people. They were just ragging on me. And I can take a joke, but this not that day. It wasn't the day. And so I eventually say, "What's your fucking problem? What's your problem?" And then they're telling me to learn how to take a joke. Like I didn't already just tell you guys that I had lost someone very important to me. And you know what? It may have been a cat life. It may have not been a human life. But that cat meant so much more to me than anyone. Because my cats, I love them. I love them like they're children, like they're my children, like they're kids. They're my responsibility. I'm their I'm their owner, and it's my responsibility to take care of them. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't get them the help they needed. And I just haven't been eating anything, and I've just been down on my luck. I've been down in my mood. I've just been trying and trying and trying again to make the best out of my situation, and nothing seems to work. Nothing seems to happen. Nothing seems to go my way. It's like, can God throw me a bone? You know? Can God just tell me that he's there, that he's there for me? Can he just let me know that he is there? You know? Because, I believe in God, you know? I believe that in the end, Jesus Christ will be there. He'll be there for me. But My whole life, I have lost so much important shit around me, and I keep on losing the people I care about. And it just it frightens me, you know? But then I remember, you know, that this I'm just I'm thinking that if I have to endure this, then maybe another person doesn't have to, you know? But at least tell me anything. At least show me that you care. At least tell me that you're here, that you're listening to me. You know, God's love is limitless, but I'm shaken. It's shaking me. And I keep on telling myself that things will be okay, and they're not, you know? They aren't. And I just I opened my phone. No one said they were sorry except for one person. One person sent their condolences. Everyone else, they treat me like I'm some kind of fucking disease. They treat me like I'm a monster, like I'm ostracized. You know, and while you might not like me for whatever reason, at least have common empathy and just say my condolences. You know, if that were your pet, I would have done the same thing. I would have said, I'm so sorry for your loss. You know, I gave so much to everyone around me. You know, back when I would hang out with my friends, I'd pay for a lot of stuff all the time. Not because I was balling like that. I wasn't balling like that at all. I'd barely gotten my first job. I was making maybe $80 for I made $83 my first paycheck. And then the next one, I made $150. And then it grew from there, right? As natural things do. But I didn't spend it on myself. I spent it on the people around me to show them that I care. I bought them games, and whenever we went to go hang out someplace, I'd pay for people. I pay for a lot of people. You know, I didn't want anyone to feel left out. I never wanted people to feel like the odd one out because they didn't have money. Because that just reminds me of all the times that when I was growing up, I wouldn't have money and I wouldn't be able to do shit. You know, I don't want anyone to go through that. And so I pay a lot of the times, and I'm just like my grandmother. I have a big heart. You know, like a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine, he asked me for $30, because he's down on his luck right now. He needed money for essentials, and I know him. I know him. He has a cat, he has his girlfriend, he has his family needs to take care of. He has a job at a similar pizza place down the street from me, and I care about him. And so I didn't say no. I never gave it a second thought. I just gave him the money because, again, I see this all the time. If that were ever me, I just hope someone would be there to lift me up. I just wish someone could be there to lift me up, you know? I just want to be able to be something more to people. I tried to I try and I wanted to be a good person deep down. And without even knowing it, I just fucked that up. I messed it up. I screwed over everyone around me that ever gave a fuck about me. I wasn't there for my family, and I couldn't be there for my cats. And now two of them, one of them's gone. The other one, I don't even know. But I just wish that someone could have been there to lift me up, to tell me that things were going to be fine and that I would be okay. But nothing. Nothing. And I and I'm just stuck. I'm trying to find a reason to live. I'm trying, you know? I'm trying to find my own purpose. Trying to find any reason to just keep on going. And I can't. I can't do it. I honestly can't. And I just I wish things were different. I wish they were different. But I can't change. I can't change. One day, no matter how much I say I've changed, no matter how much I work out, no matter how much I feel like I'm doing the right thing, deep down, everyone would just see me for who I was. And it just makes me feel like I'm nothing. You know? Nothing. And I'm not trying to make this video to cry for help or cry for attention. I just want to make it known about my life. To know that in some shape or way, I won't be forgotten. You know, I don't want to die knowing that no one would have known who I was. I don't want to die knowing that. You know, it scares me. You know that one day I'll die and nothing I can do can change that. And I'm scared. I'm scared. I just want you guys to know that I care about you all. You know, these past couple of videos I had made, I make them, you know, the Outlast stuff, scrutinized. Yeah, I'm still workshopping two new videos, and I make them because I care about y'all, the people who watch this. You know, I feel like YouTube has just become too much of a cash fest of people not caring about the content, but rather the money the content can pull in. You know, but I don't want to try and go everywhere with this, but it's just things I've been feeling. You know, I don't want anyone to ever be like me, you know? And I I I believe I said this before, but if I had the chance to switch places with someone else, I wouldn't, you know? Cuz this my whole life is my burden to bear. My cats are so important to me, you know? I can't I can't bear to see them go. Goodbye guys. And I'm still making a few videos and I'm sorry if you know, I was crying a little bit, but I'm still making a few videos. They're coming out soon, and I love every single one of y'all. And never forget that you guys are the most important people to me, you know? But no one can be above my cats. No one. But you guys are right there with them. You guys are what makes me feel proud of myself. And I can't ever thank you guys enough for that.